The European Renaissance began in the 14th century and was the rebirth of classical art, literature, and thought. This is when Renaissance humanism came about, as people began placing an emphasis on classical thought, art, and literature. While the Renaissance was going on, the age of exploration was also occurring. This was a European exploration of the seas in order to find new trading routes, which led to the spread of ideas to other countries and also to the discovery of new lands. With the focus on classical literature that came from the Renaissance, came higher levels of literacy in Europe, which helped push the start of the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation was a movement in which people questioned and challenged the church due to its corruption and sale of indulgences. With the invention of the printing press, the ideas of the Protestant Reformation were able to spread much further and faster. The printing press was also something that helped spread ideas both during the scientific revolution and during the European Enlightenment. The scientific revolution began in the 16th century and was a movement in which people began moving away from religious explanations to scientific reasoning. The new ideas and ways of thinking sparked the Enlightenment, which began in the 18th century. Like the scientific revolution, the Enlightenment also placed science and reason over religion. It also saw the emergence of philosophers and philosophical thought. The new emphasis on science and reason helped start the Industrial Revolution in the second half of the 18th century, in which new inventions helped push the industrialization of Europe and later also North America. The new power that countries gained from industrialization helped start new imperialism, as the powerful countries on top wanted to gain more land and power. The tensions that grew between countries from new imperialism led to World War I, which lasted from 1914 to 1918. About 10 years later, in 1929, the U.S. fell into the Great Depression, which was an economic recession that spread across the world. The Great Depression ended before the start of World War II in 1931, which lasted until 1945 after the defeat of the Axis powers. The Cold War started right afterwards in 1947 and lasted until 1991. The Cold War was not a physical war, rather it was the tension between the U.S. and Soviet Union as the U.S. attempted to contain the spread of communism.